if you're losing someone or you're losing something or you're just going through a rough spot, I like that my job is to help people through that.
Right.
So that's pretty much where I'm at right now. And I really just enjoy being around other people. But then I have my moments where it's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna chill at home and cook.
Don't chill at home tomorrow. Come out.
Well, no. I will be out for
Okay.
sure.
All right.
Sure, because I gotta come and support. But also because I know it's gonna be a fantastic event.
Right.
So-
Positive people, beautiful people, gorgeous earth tone people.
all types of colors.
All
and
types
just-
of colors, natural
Yes.
colors. It's gonna be an amazing event. Spoken word comedy. We're gonna be in Rockford, Soul Lounge, Social Therapy. Make sure you check that out. I will be doing some comedy, and there will be some poetry and live music, and just all around good people, good energy, good vibes. The kind of room that's gonna inspire you
Yes.
to want to
And
do some more things.
It's amazing. I've been to, I think this is my second or third one
Yeah.
that I've been to, and every single time the vibe is just off the charts.
So chill.
Great.
So amazing. I love to be around good people. Like we were just saying, I love to be around good people like that.
Mm.
So what school did you go to? No, before I ask that, what point in your life made you decide, you know what? I want to get inside people's heads.
That's a good question, actually. I was interested in psychology. I know back in high school, took my first psych class. As a sophomore, actually, I took AP Psych, and it was just like my mind was blown.
Fascinated, huh?
Yes, I was completely into it, and even when it came to the test, it wasn't difficult because of the fact that I was so interested in the subject and being able to study and learn and how can I apply this in real life. And then of course people started saying, well, are you psychoanalyzing me? And I'm like, no,
possible.
but not on my off time, of course not.
Yeah, I think you are. I think like sometimes it becomes so second nature. If you're doing what you love, it's just natural. Like I just have a need to make people around me laugh and smile no matter whether I'm on stage or not. That's just something. So it probably just came natural. So what college did you go to?
Well, I attended Spelman College down in Atlanta.
Hey, that's like a black college, right?
Yes, of course.
I probably just made all the listeners leave.
It absolutely is. I loved it. All 4 years were amazing. And not only because it was a black college, but it's an all women's college as well.
Historical, right?
Yes. Historically black, historically since 1881.
Hey.
So, I mean, it was an experience that really built me to the point that I'm at now. I would say that my interest in psychology was already there, but there were things that needed to be fine-tuned, I suppose, when I was at Spelman. And then I came back here and I was like, okay, what do I want to do? Let's go to grad school. Why not?
So where did you go to grad school?
I was at the Chicago School of Professional Psychology in downtown Chicago, but they have other locations.
Okay.
But I went to the one in downtown Chicago, and that was an eye-opening experience.
Downtown Chicago?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
I remember my first trip to downtown Chicago. I was 23. Really? I was so terrified. I had never been away from my mother. I was so terrified. So, but it was a building experience. It taught me, okay, this is the world. This is the rest of the world. Get used to it. The general public is not so nice.
Yeah. They will walk past you and walk over you like you're just not there.
You're invisible at times. So, but I can understand. It's like everything moves so much faster. Like everybody's ready to go.
Absolutely.
So where is Spelman College?
Spelman College is in the historic West End in Atlanta, Georgia. So if well, and I don't want to say that, okay, well, do people prefer Atlanta or other areas of the South? But I thought it was pretty nice to be able to spend 4 years in Atlanta, as well as, of course, attending college. And I say the historic West End because of the fact that at one point it was a very flourishing Black neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, Dr. Martin Luther King being there, so many civil rights leaders who either were brought up in Atlanta or kind of cut their teeth when it came to fighting for civil rights. That happened in Atlanta. And I think that there are so many things that still go on in that city that don't necessarily make it. Well, I wouldn't say they don't make it to the north, but it takes a little bit longer
Right.
to get. And even honestly, I would say the most apparent for me was the music, because I would notice that, the hot new songs in Rockford and in the North in general would be something that we were listening to 3 months ago in Atlanta.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how it was when I went to Mississippi. I was like, can y'all please play JJ Fast Supersonic? And they were like, what is that?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a song?
Yeah.
Who is JJ Fat? Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Just give them a little time.
Yeah. It takes a minute, but they are getting better since the internet became more popular. They are getting better. What did you notice a difference right away? Because sometimes going down south, it's like you are entering a whole nother realm. It's so different down there. The atmosphere, the air, everything is so different.
Yes.
And I remember being told, you can't talk to people. Okay, I'll say this. You can't talk to white people down here the way you talk to white people up north. You can't just talk to them like they're another human being.
Mm-hmm.
And I was warned about that. And I was like, but really? So did you notice, a social difference down there?
I think in Atlanta, I think it's different. Because,
okay.
Of course,
it's a bigger city.
It's a bigger city. It's not nearly as big as Chicago, obviously, but it's a bigger city. So it was kind of a different feel.
Mm-hmm.
But also a lot of people who live in Atlanta now are not originally from Atlanta. So even though it maybe has a Southern feel, it's not the same if, half the people who are coming are from New York and Chicago and wherever else.
Right.
So it is a different feel.
Because it's like the Black U.S. Mecca. Like
Yes.
At one point, that's where every Black person I knew wanted to eventually go.
Yes.
Plus they had Freak Me.
Yes. Yeah.
They stopped that.
Yeah. Heard about that. They tried a resurgence when I was there.
Yeah, they tried to do it in different places. It just never caught back on, So it is what it is. We move on, we grow.
Yeah.
So in any it is Black History Month and it is around Valentine's Day. So I got to ask you, is there anything you do particularly to celebrate Black History Month? Is there
for my job or on a personal level?
Personal.
Personally, I would say that, of course, Black History Month, it's just 1 month.
But, right.
I would say I kind of get nostalgic, honestly, for when I was in college, because I see and I hear from a lot of the women and men, because of course we had Morehouse across the street in Clark, Atlanta, right next door as well. So there was a lot of intermixing and being able to interact with a lot of different people who would focus on Black history as well as what are Black people going to do in the future. And that was always the focus. So I get a little nostalgic because of course we start talking about like, oh, well, of course, all the memes and the posts and all of that on Facebook, okay, they're coming out. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, hey, I'm going to refer you to this book that I read back in undergrad, and let's talk about that. Because everyone's experience was similar, we can kind of discuss like, okay, well, I would say, let me see. I would say most of all, it also makes me think about what I would like to bring into every year. So I think that it's really significant that Black History Month is the second month of the year. So you're already starting off with this idea of, okay, your history, this is what your history was. It was full of purpose, it was full of meaning, it was full of pain, a lot of pain. But what are you going to do from this point on? And so a lot of course, there are events that are going on in Rockford and in other areas. And I only say Rockford just because that's where I'm living right now. But in a lot of areas, that being able to celebrate through attending those events is also important, but also saying that, okay, well, what am I going to do as an individual to set my mark in Black history? And so I think that a lot of the people that I know, either they will actively say, okay, well, I'm going to post something on Facebook or on Twitter or whatever social media thing is hip now. Or they're going to say, okay, well, this is starting off my year, and what am I going to read? What am I going to investigate? What am I going to do to be able to put my mark in Black history? So I notice a lot of people talk about, like, okay, I want to be able to build a business, or I want to be able to be more self-sufficient in other ways. And so that way my mark isn't just, okay, I was here and I may have made a status or two about, you know, Marcus Garvey or something like that, but it's more than that. It shouldn't just be what happened in history, but also what are you going to do in the future?
Exactly. Of like Black History Month, but 365 Black Future, you know?
Absolutely. And I think that I will have to dust off some books, sadly. Because if you look in my room, it's literally like a handful of books I've had forever, and then a whole bunch of books from grad school, and then some random stuff. And then there's some books that are still from undergrad. But now that you bring that to my attention, I'm like, why did I put them away? Just because my immediate mindset is, okay, focusing on grad school. And of course, we talked about diversity at my school because that was the focus. But it also makes me think, okay, what have I set aside? What don't I have in my immediate vision to remind me, okay, this is why you went here. This is why you insisted on going beyond where you were at in 2007. So, and what does that mean for the future that you can leave for people in the area as well as outside of the area? And I think that a lot of times we can get stuck in that, okay, well, it's just Black History Month.
Right.
Or it's just, I mean, it started as a week.
Right.
And then it became a month. So what's next? What are we doing next?
So I know you went to college. Do you know why it's the month of February? You know, everybody always gets that, well, we got the shortest month, but I've heard, I can't remember at the moment, I've heard there's a specific reason why Black History Month is in February. Do you know why it is? Because I can't remember at all.
You know, and that's a great question. I know.
Steve, Google. Shout out to Stephen Devine. My sound engineer, my producer, I appreciate him very much. When I came in, he was like, I don't know if I should say this, but happy Black History Month, Vickie.
How was I supposed to know? I'm just taking a random shot at stuff. Honestly.
Like, yes, you can say that.
Yes.
You can say that.
And I think that it's no less of a celebration than anything else. So why not?
Because, you know, it's not just for us to remember where we came from. It's for everybody to remember, oh, yeah, this did happen. What can I do to ensure that nothing like this happens again? How can I be a better person to all my fellow human beings, you know?
Yes.
So basically, I just want to say, you know, in honor of Black history, don't just think about Black history in the U.S. You have to go back further because Black history did not start in the U.S. Black history, you know, the month started in the U.S. The celebration started in the U.S. But Black history goes all the way back to the beginning of time. So make sure you become more conscious and more aware of a history more than just when we were prisoners of war, aka slaves. You know, yes. It goes back to us just fighting, you know, to be recognized as U.S. citizens. It goes back further. So make sure you do some reading. This is what this is for. Do some reading, become more aware, become more conscious of history, period. Okay, so back to you. What I know I probably forgot to send you the questions that I send everybody. I suck at life, so I may have to put you on the spot after we come back
Okay.
from break.
That's okay.
But so what is it that you do now? Explain to me. You said psychologist, right?
Well, I work in mental health. I'm not yet a psychologist, only because.
So what is your title or
my title as it is right now? I'm a case manager. I am a clinician in mental health.
okay?
So a psychologist, I have to have the doctorate, and I'm working on that. But
Okay.
not quite there yet. So
Okay.
looking forward to it, but not quite there yet.
Okay, so without giving away too much, what is it that what happens? Okay, if I come to you and I'm like, I'm in a state of depression, this happened and that happened, I can't figure out how to get out of this rut I'm in. What are the steps you would take, to help me?
Okay. Well, in a nutshell, I would say the first step is being able to build that relationship. So, of course, the first moment that I met you was
like, she is crazy.
well, and it's granted, I don't know if crazy was the word, because it was right. It was actually during the Soul Lounge, the last one that they had, and I think you had just finished your poem, or you were just about to go on, and I was like, this woman is awesome. I don't know about that last poem about the men, and I had decided to invite my parents and my brother that night. So that was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that it's absolutely, you have to have a good rapport with anyone that you're going to be working with, because it is important to be able to build that trust right off the bat. So, okay, depending on what you're dealing with when it comes to depression, you may use different techniques, or you may just listen. Because sometimes that's what people need first before you start doing anything else. And a lot of the people that I work with, sometimes that's what they need first, is someone who will genuinely listen, someone who is genuinely interested in being able to get to know them so that they can help. And that's always the focus for me, is that what can I do to help? Is it tough? Yes. There's it is.
That was going to be my next question. Like, how do you decompress from work? Because like listening to other people's problems and dealing with their stress, it must be hard to like keep it separate from your own emotions. Like if I'm the type of person that if you cry in front of me, I am gonna cry too. But that's just something, empaths do. We want to help, but first I got to break down with you.
Yes. But,
so how do you detach?
Well, and I would say that is a lesson that I'm still in the process of learning. Honestly, it's very challenging. It's very challenging to be able to let go, because of the fact that you do care. And sometimes I'll think of something that will help. Of course, it'll be hours later, but that's what you need. Your mind has to rest in order for some of those creative juices to really get flowing. And that's why it's so important. So I'll be honest, I cook. That is my number one self-care. That's always been.
Oh, really?
Thing. Yes.
How come I don't know about this, Jandea?
Here's the thing, is that I'll be honest, I haven't figured out how to make a recipe that is really good that I think you would like, that is vegan. That is honestly 100% why you haven't received anything from me.
Right.
I'm working on it. When I figure something out, I got you.
All right. Good. Like, because I love for other people to cook for me. Mm-hmm. And it is hard right now. I have a friend who's like, he made me something to eat today, and sitting there, he was like, there you go, some potatoes and peppers. I got potatoes and fish, and you got potatoes and peppers. And I'm eating, and I'm like, what did you cook these potatoes in? And he was like, butter. And I'm like, no. No. So I understand that I am difficult to cook for. And he was just like, so proud. He was like, it's vegan. You can eat that. He was so proud.
He just, no. Just no.
No, and I'm like halfway done. I'm eating, and I'm like, wait a minute. I know this this is dairy.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what kind of oil did you cook this in? I
Yeah.
haven't had all the oils, but I know that coating. All right, I'm not gonna get into veganism. This is about you. So you cook
Yes.
to decompress.
I cook, and it's funny. And I will say this. I love watching different shows, but honestly, I will put on like Food Network, like Chopped, and just cook. And it's funny because I'll get so into it that I'm just like, oh wait, they gave me an idea for another recipe. Let me make this. Like there was, I think it was not last Sunday, but the Sunday before, I literally made like 4 dishes because I just kept watching Food Network over. And it was bad.
That is got to be a great way to clear your mind.
It is, because it's creative. It's helpful because of the fact that, you know, I can take this food and I can eat it, or I can give it away, or what have you. But it's also dangerous because not all my recipes are healthy. So so yeah.
I tell people, even though I'm a vegan, you think that, you know, okay, now I'm healthy. I overeat vegetables.
Really?
I really do. I'm like, I'm going to get another plate. That spinach was so good. Like, I'm going to get another plate. Yeah, I overeat. That's why I'm like still healthy.
Overeat vegetables. I need to. Well, that's what I need to do, is come over to your house. You can cook for me. I can learn from you, and then I can cook.
Yeah, yes,
so
that works. And I'm just like always, you know, looking for new ideas online. Yeah. So I'm glad that you have that. We are going to take a quick break. We are sitting here with Ms. Jandea Clark. She is an amazing person. Make sure you stay tuned. This is Vickie Lynn. This is the show WOW, W.O.W, Women on Women, all about women empowerment. We will be right back. Janesville Community Radio, WADR 103.5 FM.
Wanna be happy. so sweet. I just wanna be so happy, but the answer lies in me. I do believe that we can be happy. I said I wanna be happy. Yeah. Now let it breathe. Life is too short to be trying to play some games. Now take some time and think about if it's really worth losing me. Why must it be this way? Why do you have to play with my mind all the time? Help me sing it. All I really want is for me to be happy. Oh, just help me sing it. All I really want is for me to be happy. Yeah. All I really want is for me to be happy. Oh, yeah. Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel so uninspired. And when I knew I had to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind. You're the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me feel like a natural woman. When my soul was in the lost and found, you came along to claim it. I didn't know just what was wrong with me till your kiss helped me name it. I'm no longer doubtful of what I'm living for. And if I make you happy, I don't need to do more. 'Cause you make me feel like a natural woman. Oh, baby, what you done to me? You make me feel so good inside. And I just wanna be.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us right here on Janesville Community Radio, WADR 103.5 FM. It's so hard when I come back from break because usually we in here laughing and giggling and having a good time. And Steve found the Black History Month, why it's in February. Do you still have that for us, sweetie?
Yes, I do. I do have that still here with us.
All right.
I'm trying to multitask. It's tough. It's tough to. You come here and try to work a microphone and a computer, Vickie.
Steve
Come on.
is like the only man allowed in here. Go ahead, baby.
No, but in
Read
real,
that for us.
yeah, the precursor for Black History Month was created in 1926 in the United States when historian Carter G. Woodson and the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History announced the second week of February to be Negro History Week.
Thank you very much. So that is how that came about. And now we get the whole month, okay? But that does not mean that you have to stop thinking about it after the 28th or the 29th this year.
Yes,
It is a
yes.
leap year.
Even
It is
longer.
a leap year. So I need to leap right out of this year. Like so far, I'm like, what is going on? Like, but that's okay. That's okay because I think it's good to have those, ups and downs because if you are constantly up, it will get, what's the word, mundane.
Yeah,
Or
you kind of get used to it, get acclimated to it.
Yeah, redundant. Like
Yes.
yeah. So yeah, I can remember stuff sometimes.
it happens to, well, all of us. I can't even say to the best of us. It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
And I guess they say that you're supposed to like do games and it can strengthen your mind, and studies have shown that. And I need to get on those games because in the same way they have games that you can do online, or you can do Sudoku, or you can do like
Sudoku give
mind
me a headache,
games
girl.
and-
Like that's the real me. like numbers, no.
No. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about who Zendaya is. So like what is the end goal for you? Like you want, like Zendaya is single and she is young and she doesn't have children. I envy her.
I mean, but well, that's the thing, is that I love kids, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm just not quite there yet.
Okay.
So
Good for you. Like enjoy life. Like I think like the best thing you can do between mama's house and living with children and husband is that time to yourself. It is, I heard it's very beneficial. I heard it's very beneficial.
But that's where you're at now.
Yeah,
the kids are
almost.
gone.
I got one more kid to kick
One
out.
kid? Oh, okay. he's
Yeah,
he
one
can
more,
just-
and he is taking his time. I'm like, I'm about to push you out the nest, and you better hope you can fly.
I'm sure he'll do fine.
Yeah, but I think it's very beneficial to growth. I think you need that solitude moment to truly figure out who you are and what you want, out of life. So you have that.
I am actually finding that. I'm
Okay.
finding that now. And just like with cooking and things like that, that I'm realizing how incredibly important that is, because of the fact that you start discovering stuff about yourself that you may not have really realized when you're focusing on other people. And the fact is that, okay, you have to build that independence. You have to build that, okay, what do I do if this happens or that happens? And don't get me wrong, I am very close with my family, so they have been invaluable. I will say this without shame, that I absolutely appreciate my family, and I try and give back as much as I can, because I know that they have been there for me in those tough moments.
Right.
But I also realize that, okay, there's got to be some times where I'm flying on my own. There's got to be some times where it's like, okay, Zendaya, what are you gonna do now? And sometimes it's a good idea, and sometimes it's a little crazy, but that's okay.
That's okay too, because everything we do, even our mistakes, even our failures, like if you do it right,
Yes.
it's a building stone.
Yes.
To get to a higher place in life. And that's the end goal. Elevation, evolving. That is the end game for me. Like
Yes.
ever evolving, ever
Yes.
elevating. I love, those two words, because that's all I want to do. Like I can find that some people are the same person at 20 that they are at 45. And I'm like,
Really?
how did you do that?
Gosh.
How did you do that?
See, I
and I think you got to try new things. So even if it's a mistake, it's going to be beneficial. So
Yes.
try new things, do new things. I didn't discover I like eggs Benedict until I was 37 years old. I could have been eating eggs Benedict until I became a vegan.
Well, yes, true. There's so many, I guess, good and bad things that you haven't tried,
and if
that you never know.
Yeah, you got to try the bad too, because that's how you know I don't like that.
Yes. Yes. and that's for sure. I've learned my lesson a couple of times where I'm like, okay, life. All right, I got it. I got it. Don't do that again. Don't do it. Just
Right.
don't do it.
And which brings me to the other part of February, love, Valentine's Day. Everybody's so obsessed with Valentine's Day and love, as a
Yes.
day. Express your love every day. Okay. Especially
Yes.
for self. Like
Yes.
if you are not a couple right now, if you are singular instead of plural, just, love, give that love to yourself that you would
Yes.
expect from somebody else.
Yeah.
So I know we both single. How do you celebrate this magical time? I'm doing air quotes here. This magical time of love. Like, how do you celebrate?
Well, normally, I would say, I think since my first year of undergrad, that I've tried to either do something for myself or do something for someone else. So I've either like taken myself out for dinner or bought myself a whole bunch of clothes that I wanted, or maybe didn't need,
A
but
whole
that I
bunch of
wanted.
clothes. Women love that.
Oh
Whole
my
bunch
gosh.
of clothes.
Yes, because you can't just buy one thing. It's like I gotta get the whole outfit.
Yeah, I gotta get the
The whole
ensemble. Now I gotta go
Yes.
get the shoes and the earrings.
Yes.
See,
And
that's
then-
what men don't understand. Or some men do.
Well, yes,
I've seen some men who accessorize like women do. Like everything is on point.
Yes, and absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love guys being on point, but at the same time, there can be a little bit of we're just gonna chill and just be relaxed, and t-shirt and jeans
Right.
and some sneakers
Right
and
now.
yes.
And you
Like-
always look amazing. Now,
Oh my
I've said this.
gosh.
Jendea was on the BCDB Funny Show, which airs Sundays at 10 p.m. She was on the show one time, and I was like, and she came in, and she always looks so amazing. Like, and nothing's showing. You can't see anything, nothing's popping out or
No.
falling out or hanging out. She always looks amazing. And that, like, you should teach a class, like, because it's very appealing. A lot of women don't realize that
Mhm.
it's very appealing to not have everything showing.
Well, and I don't think it's very comfortable. Like, just to me, I mean, I'm being for real. When I've seen some outfits and I'm just like, I don't understand how that's comfortable. Isn't it just,
Yeah.
there's a lot. If you're hanging out and you're riding up, then that's not comfortable. It just
it's
isn't.
not. I spent that time in my life. I'm like, this is horrible. I was only there for a short minute.
Yeah.
Because my mother used to buy me revealing clothes, and she was like, oh, this will look so cute on you. And I'd be like, I'm tugging.
Yeah, like yes,
I
the
can't
tug
walk. I
and
feel funny. Like I'm trying to walk like,
yeah.
like covering everything up or get on a big sweater. So yeah, I spent just a little time, showing the goods. And then I was like, yeah, this is horrible. Too tight. Can't breathe.
And it's if you aren't comfortable, then it shows.
Exactly.
And,
exactly. So I know you are a part of a bunch of different charities and groups. So I want to ask the question about the Eastern Stars. That's what it is, right? I don't know if y'all like the Masons or something, and it's all secret. Y'all can't tell me. Like, if you can just tell me the philanthropy part, because I know y'all do that right. Like, she was like, I can't tell you nothing. So what's the philanthropy part of the Eastern Stars? It's a group of women, right?
Yes.
Okay, she can
Yes.
tell me that.
So I would say that in terms of with the Order of the Eastern Stars, of course, we do community service. We want to serve.
Okay.
So that is, I would say that is a focus.
Okay.
And being able to help, especially youth, being able to be there to serve. That's really one of the purposes, is to be able to say, okay, how can we serve not only mankind, but also with the children, being able to help them grow and flourish. And of course, with other organizations, that's their focus as well. So it's not a problem for us to partner with other organizations if that's the focus. But it's also saying that, okay, well, we are going to make sure that holding ourselves accountable and making sure that it's understood that we are there to serve ultimately.
Okay.
So in the time that I have worked with the Order of the Eastern Stars and with any other organization, I think that my goal has always been service, and that is what has drawn me to these organizations, is that it's always focused on how can I help someone else so that they can in turn help either themselves or help someone else on top of that. And I do think that it's very important that we always have that as a mindset. How can we help?
Yeah.
Granted, self-care is important too. And there
Oh,
are
yeah.
definitely moments where I'm just like, you know what? I can't do it right now. Give me a chance to be able to reset and I'll be there for you.
Yeah, I recently read a book. I can't remember the name of it. It's something, but Yeah, that's the title. It's something.
It's something.
But it was basically about eradicating fear from your life, because fear will hold us back from so many things. And one of the basic staples of this book was do service,
Yes.
be a service to others. And that in itself builds you.
Yes.
So I always be kind to others, do for others any way you can. Try to do a good deed every day. Be selfless.
Yes.
You have to take that time to be selfish and have your moment. But yeah. So did you pledge a sorority in college as well?
Not when I was in college. I did become a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated after college, after graduate school.
Oh, so you don't have to be in college to join a sorority?
You do have to either be in college or a college graduate in order to be a member of the college level sorority.
Okay.
However, there may be organizations that may have organizations within them that support women who may not have completed college at that time. And so a lot of times it's building women up no matter where you're at in life.
Okay.
So being able to have those organizations that support women who may not have finished college or who want to go back to college but just aren't quite there yet, who still exemplify the ideals of that organization. And then also organizations may also have children, youth organizations in order to support that growth throughout the entire lifetime, basically, so that they can be at the point of being able to either attempt to join the sorority or just exemplify those ideals as an individual. So I do think that with any woman, if she is interested in joining a sorority, especially, of course, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
What's y'all colors and stuff?
Royal, blue, and white. So, but I think that it's always going to be internal. It's always going to be what works for you and where you see yourself. And that's always important for you to understand before you're trying to enter any organization, and knowing that you're always going to continue growing. I absolutely have plenty of growing to do, even at this point in my life. I understand that most of all, because I know that, okay, well, my life isn't over yet. God willing, I will be on this earth for a lot longer. And so that means that there's a lot more that I want to do because of that fact that it's okay. Well, yay, made it to this age.
Yeah, you have to make it to 40 because you at 40 is going to be friggin' amazing.
Oh my gosh.
With that filter that falls off when you get to 40, and you being so like grounded and so earthly and so kind. Like when you become 40, that is going to be beautiful. Like I hope I'm around for that. Like I can be like,
will be. Who's gonna be my mentor when I'm 40? I'm gonna come to you like
now.
No.
I'll be like, take a video.
Well, yeah, by then I could probably take like a hologram. Just, Vickie, what should I do? Because like time is ticking.
Yeah, here's what I have learned and everything. Like, know what your truth is at the moment, because you change constantly.
Yes.
You evolve, you change constantly, but always your truth is your center. And if you can always find that in every moment, and that's why it's been so easy being 40, because my truth comes out all the time.
But
like,
it's beautiful. Like, that's the thing. It is like, and that's what draws so many people to you.
Yeah,
the fact that
I
it's
love
beautiful.
It is friggin' amazing. Like, you know what I'm thinking because I'm already saying it.
Yes.
You don't have to wonder. Like, I am saying it.
Well,
that's the good thing about 40. So, it was something else I wanted to ask you. So being around these women and in these organizations, do you feel what do you feel is the most beneficial part about it?
I would say on both sides, sisterhood and service. hands down. I would say there's no way of me being able to divide one from the other.
Okay.
Is that I have seen women put themselves not behind, but lifting others up, pushing others forward in ways that I may not have thought about. Not that I wouldn't want to do,
Right.
but in ways that I hadn't thought of. And I think that that's very important, to be able to inspire other people as well as to be able to build that relationship as a sister. So I will say this, that I am the eldest, and the youngest, I guess, is my brother, and I love him dearly. I absolutely love him dearly.
It's an awesome person.
Yes. Well, and I forgot that you
Yeah,
did meet
he's an
him.
awesome
Yes.
person.
Yes.
He reminds me of my son, my youngest.
And
Yeah.
truly every time you mention your youngest son, I'm like, why is that exactly like my brother?
Yeah.
Like,
He reminds me of my youngest, and he gives me hopes. I'm like, all right, well, this is gonna be all right. So
yes.
I have to ask you real quick, what's the best advice that an older woman ever gave you?
I would say most of all, be yourself. I know that it's cheesy but honestly, many, many women who have been older than me have said, be yourself and figure out what works for you. So of course my mom is just like, do the best that you can, and what do you want to do and do for you. But at the same time, it's like, okay, who am I, and who is that? Who do I want that to be in the future? And as you said, it changes.
It does.
It does.
It
And,
does.
psychology and mental health and all of that has been a part of my life for a long time. But at the same time, where I'm going to be years from now,
You never know.
you never know.
Never know. All right. I want to thank you so much. I didn't get to my last question, where you see yourself in 5 years, but you kind of just answered it. You never know. Ever evolving. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Congratulations to our winners. And we'll be back next Thursday. I forgot with who, but we will be back. I'm sorry, I don't have my book. We will be back next Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on Janesville Community Radio, WADR 103.5 FM. Thank you, Miss Jendea, for staying with us. I am your host, Vickie Lynn, for WOW, Women on Women, all about women empowerment, because there is no woman that you will not meet and hear her story and not say, wow. All right. Thank you. Be kind to each other. I'll hear you next week. You'll hear me next week.
The moment that I step outside, so many reasons for me to run and hide. I can't do the little things I love so dear. 'Cause it's all those little things that I fear. 'Cause I'm just a girl, I'd rather not be. 'Cause they won't let me drive it at night. Oh, I'm just a girl, yes, I'm some kind of freak. But they all can stare with their eyes. Oh, I'm just a girl, take a good look at me. Just don't typical prototype. Oh, little to here. I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl in the world. That's all that you let me be. I'm just a girl living in captivity. Your love don't make me worry so.
You are listening to WADR LP 103.5